Hello, everybody. So today we're going to look at this slope analysis tool for looking at ADA accessible trails at Tennessee state parks. This is a map that we have on our organization page that's shareable to you guys, and I've added in a bunch of layers that are available. There are new licenses that should help us with this. We're looking at Radnor Lake right now, and the purple is our trail data set that we have in GIS and what shows up in our park maps. And all this black is called our dark multi-directional hillshade. So let's look in at this lake trail that goes around the lake to see what parts might be handicap accessible and what parts might need to be worked on a little bit. A few things I want to note is we're not sure exactly how accurate the purple public trails are. They're only as accurate as the data that was collected. So this might be an opportunity to go out and recollect at least the lake trail and see where it lies. This dark multi-directional hillshade it's a LiDAR derived product. So when we talk about using LiDAR, this is an example of that. If you zoom in here, you can actually see how the public trail is going between these two road cuts. There's this lower one here and this upper one here. I'm trying to find out what the existing trail goes on. Does it go along this upper one or the lower one? If we want to take these on and off, we go to our contents pane over here, and you can toggle the trails on and off so we can kind of look at what's going on underneath them. You'll see that they tend to really follow this the road cut or the trails the flatness that has been created so far. I'll show you over here a little bit too. This is an example where I think our GIS data is not quite accurate. It's pretty generalized. Obviously, it does not go across the lake. More likely, it goes into this trail bed over here. And I think it also might follow up into this section over here that has been flattened. So we might look around to try to figure out places where their slope needs to be either leveled out or rerouted. But we can do better than that. If we turn this layer off, it might look like lava, but this is called a terrain slope map. This is another LiDAR product. You can turn that on and off so we can see our old Google base map. But when you turn it on and we go to the legend over here, this will show us the areas that are flat and nearly flat. We want everything to kind of be in the white. You'll see that along the south side of the lake, this trail is almost entirely in the white. There's a little spot here that gets a little bit yellow, and there's always a possibility that this LiDAR data is not as granular and kind of generalizes a little bit. But you can see the white, that's what we're going for ADA, or just a little bit of yellow. I'm going to look over here again. So if I go back to our contents to turn the public trail on and off, you can kind of see those two trail beds that I was talking about here in the white. So I'm trying to decide, does the lake trail go through on this upper one or this lower one? Right now it looks to be splitting the difference, but it's definitely traveling along this lower one. And maybe this is an old trail bed that was there previously. We could also kind of identify areas where we could cross at different spots. I noticed that up here, we're having to go across a really kind of a one little steep section, this orange here. So this is definitely a place that might need to be leveled out or have a bridge. Obviously, I'm not on the ground to know what that exactly looks like. We also have an opportunity we could connect it in the yellow here. There's obviously a split in the grade between the orange, and it could loop around potentially to there if we needed to do something like that. So when we look about using this map for all our sakes, we can add in these little map notes to help us make decisions and see what's going on. The way to do that is if we go over to the edit page, I've already added map notes. And you can kind of just drop a push pin of an area that you're interested in. So let's look over here. You kind of have to toggle back and forth between the details to turn on and off the trails. That looks good, but I'm going to look at this spot right here. Might be an area of concern. So I'll turn that on and go to edit, and I might just drop a push pin here and make a note that says potential area of grading. And I can, if I believe I can move that right to where I want it. I could also highlight that by drawing a little box over there like I've done before. You double click. If you don't want there to be a green fill on that, you go to change your symbol and we'll do no color so that there's nothing on the inside. And so now we have an area that we can focus on. The next level of this, if we do like what we're doing, I can try to figure out a way to export all these map notes to a map that you could have on your phone so that when you're walking around, we can figure out exactly where that is on the ground. One last thing I'll show you. If we go back over to our details and our contents, I was trying to decide, is this really where the roadbed is? Well, we have some imagery too we could use. This one is called our NAIP. This is really about tree. It has a really tree focus, so it's always taken in the middle of the summer, so we can get all that vegetation on pictures. But that's not super helpful. This clarity one, though, you can actually see the trail and where I believe the GIS data should be adjusted to reflect that. I mean, there's always a chance that imagery can be offset at different like angles and stuff like that. So we might just want to go out and retrace this trail to get it accurate for our system. But yeah, it's really cool. You can see where it crosses the bridge here and just continues on. And this arrow is just to denote that I think that the GIS trail needs to be moved up just a little bit. You turn that back off, we can see our slope and you can see the white area, which is what we're going for. This green box that I've identified is an area that might need to be flattened. There's a little bit of yellow. It's an opportunity where we could just kind of clean that up and keep that slope in the white zone. All right, let me know if you have any question, and I hope this is helpful for y'all.